In this video I will show you how to convert time from hours, minutes and seconds format to decimal hours. Before we start, why would we need to convert time? Well, the reason why is to do multiplication and division, you need to have time in decimal format. If 7 people worked 7.5 hours each, you need to have it in decimal format to punch it in a calculator. And if you are doing payroll for many people, you gotta have time in decimal format. Do remember, like I said on the channel intro video, whoever does math on the job site makes the money, makes the big bucks, and this is what supervisors and owners do, calculating time for their crew. Let's get started. Time is typically formatted as 10 hours, 18 minutes and 32 seconds. 32 seconds. That's one way to write time, or another way is to write it in the 24-hour format is 18 hours 27 minutes and 41.7 seconds. Or a third way to write time is 21 hours 20 minutes and 18.18 seconds, just like so. This one is just a stray dot, don't worry about it. So those are 3 formats that we write time in. Now how do we convert time? Let's get started with something simple. Say 2 hours, and this is hours now, and 2 hours and 15 minutes. 2 hours and 15 minutes. We know that 15 minutes in fractions is a quarter hour. And a quarter hour, we know that 1/4 is 0.25. But how do we get? It's from 15 minutes to quarter. What do we do with the 15 that it becomes a quarter? We know that the quarter becomes 0.25 when you do a division like so, that 1 divided by 4, and this is a 1.0 or 1.00, it's the same, and 4 goes into 1 0 times, and you place the decimal dot. 4 goes into 10 twice. 2 by 4 is 8. There's a 2 that's unaccounted for, drop down to 0. 4 goes into 20 5 times. Ding ding ding, we have ourselves the decimal format. 1/4 is the same as 0.25. So that's that part. The tricky part is, how do the minutes become a fraction that we can do a division with? Well, I'm gonna show you. It's rather simple. 15 is what part of an hour? It is on a clock face. It works well, and you know that the minute hand has to go from 12 to 15, and at 12, that we know that it is a 0 minute, although the clock doesn't say 0 on it, but now it does. It's a 0 minute, and this is where 15 minutes is. I'm gonna write minutes with whiskers now, and those are not inches. So you know that on a clock face from 0 to 15, it's a quarter turn here. This angle here, this included angle that the minute hand takes, is a quarter turn. Here is another quarter on the clock, and here is another quarter, and here is the 4th quarter. There's 4 quarters on a circle. Therefore 15 minutes is to 1 quarter. But that's nice, but there's one more twist that we can do it mathematically with any minutes, not just 30. 15 is what part of an hour? When we ask that, an hour is 60 minutes. And when we want to see 1/4 at the end, we're basically asking this. 50 is what part of 60 minutes? Let's see if we know that 50 is the same as 1/4. Let's see if this fraction equivalency works out. Maybe with this red pen. 4 needs to be increased 15 times to get to 60, because 4 times 15 is 60. And 1 also needs to be increased 15 times to become 15. This fraction, 15/60, is the same as 1/4. These two are equivalent fractions. Let's see how it looks like with 30 minutes. We know that 30 minutes is half an hour. 30/60 is the same as 3/6, is the same as 1/2. 30 minutes is also half an hour. We have equivalent fractions here. So once we have the first equivalent fraction, we can calculate it. We don't have to divide 1/4 to get this fraction. We can also divide 15/60. It's still going to be 0.25. Let's just check it. 15 divided by 60, 0.25. Ding, ding, ding. All right. If it works for 15 and if it works for 30, let's see how it looks like with 45. 45/60 is, we know it's 3/4 of an hour. Let's write it up, 3/4. Now, here 4 has to multiply by 15 to become 60. How about 3? Is 3 times 15 45? Let's check it on a calculator. 3 times 15, it is 45. Okay, so these are also equivalent fractions. Now let's see if we can use this one, and this one, 15/60, 30/60, and 45/60, to see if we can use it for any minute. How about 10 minutes? 10 minutes would be 10/60. Sorry. 10 minutes would be 10/60, which is 1/6 of an hour. Well, how many minutes is 1/6 of an hour? What part of an hour is 1/6? 1/6 is 0.16. The decimal equivalent for 10 minutes. 10 minutes is 0.166666. Repeating, that's the decimal equivalent for 10 minutes. Likewise, we can do the same with 20 minutes or 55 minutes. How about we try 8 minutes? 8 minutes must be in the same fraction format, 8/60. Let's do the division, because every fraction is a division. 8/60, what do we get? That number, 0.1333. So that's how to convert minutes into decimal hours. What do we do with seconds? How do we convert seconds into decimal hours? So seconds into decimal hours. And the question is 60 seconds is what part of an hour? 60 seconds is what part of an hour? We know that 60 seconds is the same as 1 minute, and 1 minute is 1/60th of an hour. Now we don't have to convert 60 seconds into 1 minute to get this fraction. We can, what do we do when we have less than 60 seconds here? What do we do with I don't know, 10 seconds. Maybe not 10. How about 30 seconds? Let's go 30 seconds. 30 seconds is half a minute. What do we do with the 30, or what do we do with the half? The question is, 30 seconds is what part of an hour? Well, if 60 seconds was 1/60th, then 30 seconds, half of it is, how about half 60th? Oopsie. Half 60th. Now that's a weird fraction, but let's see if it works on a calculator. This is 1 divided by 60, and this is 1/2/60. Let's see what we get. 1 divided by 2 divided by 60. Oh, we get that number. 0.0083 repeating. Let's go back and see what that number is in decimal. 1 divided by 60 is 0.016 repeating. So that's 1 minute in decimal hour, and this is half a minute in decimal hours. You can see that this one is half of this amount. If you just look at the 8, you double the 8, 8 double 8 is 16, so this is half of this. This decimal number is working out well for half a minute because it's half of this amount, just as half a minute is 30 seconds is half of 60 seconds. And let's see, in the same process, this works out for the rest of the minutes. Now, how did we get half from 30 seconds? This fraction, 1/2/60, which was entered on a calculator as 1 divided by 2 divided by 60, it worked well to calculate this one. How do we get from 30 seconds to 1/2? Well, 30 seconds is 30 seconds out of a minute, which has 60 seconds in it. 30 out of 60 is 1/2. Because 30 out of 60 is 3 out of 6, just the same as with minutes. If I wanted to rewrite this fraction with 30 and 60 in it, I could, because the equivalent fraction of 1/2 is 30/60. So let me just rewrite this fraction with 30 and 60 in it. Say 30/60/60. And so this fraction here is the same as this fraction here. This is how you get a decimal of an hour from seconds. You plug the amount for seconds here, and this one is a constant and that one is a constant, representing how many seconds make a minute and how many minutes make an hour. That's why there is 2 60s. Now if you want, you don't have to divide twice by 60. You can also go 30 divided by, because you can multiply those two together. This is how you this is basically a fraction divided by a whole number, and when you do that, you can just multiply those together. 6 times 60 is 36, plus we have 2 zeros there, that number. 30 divided by 3600 must also be the same decimal. Let's see it on calculator. 30 divided by 3600, alas, it is the same decimal number. So this fraction format works for 30 seconds, and it looks like it is gonna work for any seconds. Let's see what 1 second is in decimal hours. That would be a fraction for it, because 1 second is 1/3600th of an hour. So 1/3600 is that. 0, 2, and the 7 repeating. Now how do we use these fractions to convert something like 10 minutes, 18 seconds, and 1 hour, 10 minutes and 18 seconds into decimal format. Well, 1 hour is in decimal format is 1.0, so that's done. 10 minutes is 10 over 60, which is 10 over 60 equals that number. Let's write it down there. 0.16 repeating. And 18 seconds is 18 over 60 over 60, or 18 over 3600. 18 over 3600 part of an hour. 18 over 3600 equals 0.005. Now you have the three separate amounts, this representing seconds, that representing minutes, and that representing hours. You just have to add them. Standard addition: 1.0, 0.1666, and 0.005. I'm gonna do it on a calculator because I can enter a lot of sixes on a calculator. 1 plus 0.166666 plus 0.005 equals that number, 1.17166, and the sixes are repeating. So 1 hour, 10 minutes and 18 seconds is 1.1716 minutes. Sorry, not minutes, hours. Okay, redo. 1 hour, 10 minutes and 18 seconds in decimal format is 1.1716 hours. Alright, so that's how you can convert any any hours, any time, hours, minutes and seconds format to decimal hours. And now you can multiply these labor hours with say if this was somebody's time that a person spends on installing hinges and a lock set, and if you have 27 doors to install in a building, then you can just multiply by 27, and out of it you get a convenient number. Now what you get out of it, let's just multiply it by 27 and you get that number. And let's copy it on the next page. How do we convert it back to, this is 31.6349, and the 9 is repeating. How do we convert it back from this format to, this is decimal hours, back to hours, minutes and seconds? We are gonna have to work backwards. We created this decimal number by dividing the minutes amount by 60 and the seconds amount by 60 and by 60 again. So I guess we're gonna have to and we had an addition here. So the steps were here, add and divide. So to reverse it, we're gonna have to subtract, multiply and multiply. That's how we can backtrack. Let's see how it works out. We have to subtract the 31 out of that number. I'll do it, oops. I like doing it on a calculator because it saves all the decimal digits, but it's just as simple in this case on paper here, there. And we're gonna have to work with the decimal digits. The 31 transfers into the final answer, 31 hours. What do we do with the 0.6349? 6349. First off, we enter it in a calculator, and like I said, this was the subtraction part. Done. Now we have to multiply. We have to multiply this number by 60 to get minutes out of it. Let's do that. Multiplied by 60 just once, and you have an answer that looks like 38.094. The 38 part of it transfers into minutes as is 38 minutes. The rest of the decimals will need to be times again by 60. So on the display here, I will just subtract the 38 again, so I only have the decimal digits on the display, and I'm multiplying it by 60 again, and I get that number, 5.64. This one, as is, transfers here. There. 5.64 is there, as is, unchanged. So the answer to the question, what is 31 hours, 31.6349 hours in hours, minutes, and seconds? The answer is 31 hours, 38 minutes, and 5.64 seconds. That's the answer to that. So basically, that's how to convert from one format to the other format by dividing by 60 if you want decimal digits, or multiplying by 60 if you have the decimal amount in decimal format and you want hours, minutes, and seconds. Practice it because it's tricky. You have to subtract and multiply, subtract again and multiply, and it's tricky. It takes some practice, but do it. Get proficient at it.